From scary to absolutely insane, here are 7 of the most disturbing things found in the woods. Number 7. A bloody meat cleaver. When you think of meat cleavers, you usually picture them being used in a butcher shop, or maybe in your favorite slasher flick. But what about finding one randomly in the middle of the woods? It's not something you would expect to stumble across, that's for sure. But it turns out they have been showing up all over the place. The latest was back in March when a hiker came across this bloody meat cleaver while taking a stroll through a park in West Sussex, England. It was just sitting there on a log like an Easter egg, except way more sinister. And what made it even creepier was that the police had actually been called to the same exact spot just days before, because someone had reported seeing a man chopping down a tree with a meat cleaver. As far as we know, he was just some random dude who decided to go tree hacking with a meat cleaver. But still, it's hard to wrap your head around why anyone would want to do that in the first place. Then again, you also might be wondering why someone would want to abandon their meat cleaver in the middle of the woods. Well, if it were me, I'd probably be worried about getting caught with an illegal weapon. Plus, leaving behind a bloody meat cleaver could easily be construed as a threat. Maybe whoever left it there meant for someone to find it. We may never know the full story behind this terrifying treasure. But one thing is for certain, don't go picking up random meat cleavers that you find lying around. You never know who might be watching. 6. A gruesome doll. If you've ever spent much time outdoors, then you know that no matter where you go, you're bound to come across the occasional doll lying around. They seem to be everywhere, which is weird, considering dolls aren't exactly known for going on hikes. So how do they keep turning up in the wilderness? The answer is creepy, and we found out firsthand last year when we covered the discovery of a doll hanging from a tree in South Carolina. After a series of similar dolls were spotted in different states, authorities finally cracked the case. And as it turns out, these dolls are part of a sick ritual involving human remains. The killer in question is known only as the Cross-Eyed Killer. And since he began his gruesome work in the 90s, at least 9 people have lost their lives at his hands. What makes him so terrifying is that we still haven't caught him. And given how long he's been active, it's likely he'll continue terrorizing South Carolina and beyond for years to come. So if you happen to see a doll hanging from a tree, don't be a hero and try to take it down. Just get the heck out of there. No. 5. A house. Let's face it, houses are creepy enough when they're occupied by normal people. But what happens when they're abandoned in the middle of nowhere? In the woods, they become ghost towns. But what if someone's living in them? That's what happened to the residents of the Colony, Texas, who found a house in the woods and were shocked to find someone living inside. Turned out to be a homeless guy named Nathan Summerlin, who had apparently barricaded himself inside to protect himself from the outside world. The problem was, he wasn't exactly a friendly guy, and after a tense standoff, police ended up shooting and killing him. It's hard to say exactly what went wrong, but what we do know is that this isn't the only house in the woods that has been occupied by a crazy person. From squatters to drug addicts, you never know what you're gonna find if you wander off the beaten path. So be careful and keep your wits about you, because you never know what kind of surprises await. For buried underground, remember those urban legends about alligators playing Dungeons and Dragons in the sewers? Well, it turns out that alligators can be found pretty much anywhere, including in the woods. And if you're not careful, you could end up crossing paths with one of these toothy reptiles. That's what happened to a group of hikers in Florida who were shocked to discover a buried alligator in the middle of the woods. According to witnesses, the gator was huge, measuring over 13 feet long, and somehow it had managed to dig a hole and bury itself underground. Nobody's really sure why the gator did this, but experts believe it may have been trying to cool off or hide from predators. Whatever the reason, this gator was big enough to pose a serious threat to anyone who stumbled upon it. But luckily, the hikers were able to escape without being harmed. Still, this is just one of many examples of dangerous wildlife that can be found in the woods. So always be on the lookout for anything that looks suspicious. You never know what kind of wild animals are lurking around every corner. 3. A mysterious monolith. In 2016, hikers in Utah were stunned to discover a mysterious monolith in the middle of the desert. The strange structure was made of metal and looked like nothing else on Earth. For a while, nobody knew who put it there, or what it was supposed to be. But eventually, it was revealed to be the work of a local artist. Still, this monolith wasn't the only one to appear in the United States. Shortly after the Utah monolith was discovered, a similar structure was found in California, and in Romania, a monolith appeared seemingly out of nowhere. The most exciting part was that each monolith seemed to be connected to the others in some way, and conspiracy theories ran rampant, with some people believing that the monoliths were actually alien technology. Others thought they were some kind of government experiment. Of course, we may never know the truth behind these monoliths, but one thing is for sure. They definitely added a sense of mystery and intrigue to the forests where they appeared. 2. Something unnatural. If you're one of the millions of people who enjoy hiking, camping, and other outdoor activities, then chances are you've seen something unnatural in the woods. Whether it's a UFO, Bigfoot, or something else entirely, there are plenty of strange and mysterious things that can be found in the wilderness. And sometimes these discoveries can be downright terrifying. One of the most famous cases of this happened in 1976, when a group of hikers came across a strange creature in the woods near Bluff Creek, California. The creature was bipedal and covered in hair, and it quickly fled into the forest. The hikers were able to capture footprints, which were later analyzed by scientists. Some believe that these prints were actually made by Bigfoot, also known as Sasquatch. This is a large, hairy, human-like creature that's said to inhabit the forests of North America. While Bigfoot has never been proven to exist, there have been numerous sightings over the years, and the Bluff Creek incident is one of the most compelling pieces of evidence. Of course, Bigfoot isn't the only mysterious creature that can be found in the woods. There have also been reports of UFOs, strange lights in the sky, and even paranormal activity. Some believe that these sightings are actually extraterrestrial in nature, while others chalk them up to hoaxes or misidentifications. Number 1. A skeleton. Skeletons. The one part of the human body that will inevitably end up in the woods. Okay, maybe not yours, but definitely some people throughout history. And sometimes these skeletons turn up in very unusual circumstances, like this skeleton found in New York's Bear Mountain State Park back in 2011. It was only the second skeleton ever found in the park, leading many to wonder who this person was and how they ended up in the woods. As it turned out, the skeleton belonged to a World War II veteran who had gone missing nearly 50 years earlier. He had been declared dead, and his family had even put up a headstone, but nobody had ever found his actual body until now. Of course, this isn't the only skeleton that's been found in the woods. In fact, there are countless cases of skeletons turning up in remote areas, leading to all kinds of theories and speculation. Sometimes the skeletons can be identified and the mystery solved, like in the case of the missing veteran, but other times the identity of the deceased person is never discovered. These are known as John or Jane. Doesn't they serve as a reminder of the countless mysteries that still exist in our world? Thanks for watching. What's the scariest thing you've ever found in the woods? Let us know in the comments below, and make sure to subscribe for more creepy content. See you next time.